All right, so I'm just here with Ripley. She's going home today, so I just wanted to make a little video here showing her owners how we like to start the day with our dogs, how we like to use our commands and the training in the home to just keep things nice and calm, nice and structured, and keep the dog in that kind of follower mentality. Especially when they first get home, we like to use a lot of our structure and stuff. Keep the routine kind of similar to the way it is here when the dog goes home for the first few weeks to get the dog into that same routine, right, into that same headspace. So we don't want them to go home and just be back to the same chaotic situation that they may have came from. We want that structure to carry on from the board and train into the home. So we're going to go ahead and do this here. We're going to put the e-collar on to start with. So we're going to go home, put the e-collar on. It is all turned on and everything. So here, just real quickly, I'll show how we turn this on. So with this red dot right here on the actual collar itself, and the red dot here on the remote, you'll see a small red dot. We'll just take those two red dots and we will touch them together, and you'll see a red light or a green light. Green light means it's on, red light means it's turned off. And you just touch those two dots together, they're little magnets, and that's how we turn that on. So now that we have the actual collar on, the remote here needs to be turned on as well. We just hold this black L button on the back right here. We hold that button down for about 3 seconds, and then the remote will turn on. It'll show a blue light with our numbers, and then we can go ahead and put that on. I like to tap the tone just to make sure that we're on. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on Ripley here, putting it on the left or the right side of the neck, not on the trachea and not directly on the back of the spine. Anywhere else is fine. Perfect. So that's gonna go on. E-collar goes on nice and snug so we know it's making good contact. And then from there, what we can do is we can actually release her from that crate. Now, we want to make sure, of course, the dog is waiting at the crate entrance here. Ripley's doing a great job of that, waiting at the door here, not rushing out or anything. Once we release her here, we can either release her with our release cue or with another command like a recall. And that's what we're going to do for Ripley here is we're going to release her with a recall. So I'm going to stand up here and grab my phone. And we're just going to call her out. So again, she's expected to stay at the crate door. If she got out right now, I would simply mark that with an NO, and I would tap on my e-collar stimulation, this black S button right here. I would tap on that at a level that's sufficient enough for her to feel. And for her, she's usually around like a 10 or so. So we're going to start there. So we're going to release her now. Ripley, come. With a recall command. Good girl. Nice one. Sit. Cool, and when we release her there, I like to release with a recall command. I say, Ripley, come, C-O-M-E, and then I press on that tone button to trigger that recall, and she should come on out of the crate, and then she should park herself in front of me and wait for the next command here, right? That's why I like that. I can say good morning to her, whatever I want to do. If I release her, you know, I might release her and she might start running up the stairs or whatever. She might get quite excited and go searching for, you know, some kibble on the ground or something. So keeping her in command here is just a really great way to keep her in structure. And again, keep her kind of thinking and keep her following us. So using that recall command. So now she came to me, she's sitting. So now we're going to say heel, and we're going to make our way through the house. So Ripley, heel. And that heel command, she's intended to follow me behind this left leg. Ripley, sit. Good girl. And we really like to use our stairways, our doorways as opportunities to practice some impulse control at these thresholds. So Ripley, heel. So again, parking her in a sit at the stairway and then making our way up the stairs. Heel. Okay, so we're just going to recall Ripley back inside here. So we're going to say, Ripley, come. Tap on our tone button. And if we don't see her coming right away, we're going to tap the stimulation. Ripley, come. There she is. Good girl. Nice ones. Ripley, sit. Nice. Good girl. Recalling her in, using that tone recall. We love that because, again, gets rid of those issues with the dog trying to, you know, hang out in the backyard or get you to chase them around, ignoring and blowing off that recall. We really like to use the tone recall for that and the e-collar in general, right? So in that situation, I said, come, tap the tone. I didn't hear her coming. She should come pretty quickly. So I gave the stimulation a quick couple taps, and then she felt that stimulation and she came sprinting up. So perfectly done there. Now we got her inside here, right? So now what we can do here, she's went out for her potty break. She's gone outside. We got her out of the crate and whatnot. We've done all that. So now we can go bring her to her place bed is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to put her on a place in a place command. That's going to give us an opportunity to, you know, do what we need to do to prepare for a walk with her. And then we like to get them out for a walk. And that's kind of our routine here. Get them up in the morning, get them out for a little potty break there, maybe a social. and then a walk. If they're not doing a social, we'll go for our walk. So that's what you can do with her at home. Take her for that walk, get her back home, and then after your walk, feed her. Put her back in the crate or onto her place bed, and we can feed her. And that's a really nice routine. Ripley, heel. That's a really nice routine using this heel command here for us because, again, the dog wakes up, they go do their business outside. You know, you don't even need to let them in the yard if you want to just go right for your walk. Ripley, place. Go right for your walk, of course. That is always an option. I'm just going to zoom this out. Actually, that doesn't look very good. Zoom back in. So you could always go for your get up in the morning, go out for your walk, right? Using all of this stuff that we've talked about here to get ready for that walk and to get out the door. So going for your walk, and then from there, you can bring the dog back home, bring them into the crate or put them onto the place bed and feed them. And then after their feeding time, let them relax. We really like that routine. It's quite biologically fulfilling for the dogs. They wake up, they go for a walk with you, and then they come back home, they eat their food, and then they have a nap. All right, so we got Ripley inside on her place bed here. Now we can get her prepped for her walk and ready to go there. So what we can do is we can recall her off that place bed. Ripley, break. In that situation, just using my release cue to get her off of that bed. Ripley, heel. Calling her into that heel position, and then we'll make our way through the house here, down the stairs to the front door. And then we can leash her up here at the front door. Ripley, sit. Now again, just keeping some calm behavior there using these commands. So when I grab the leash, she's not overly excited. And then I'm just gonna slip this leash onto her, this slip leash. What we're gonna do when we release her, we're gonna practice again, once again, here are our thresholds at the doorways, right? Making sure she's waiting patiently before leaving that door. So I'm gonna release her, either again with that recall command or with a break command. So I'm gonna recall her out here. Ripley, come. Nope, come, sit. And then she's expected to come and sit in front of me, so she kind of ran past me, so I said nope and gave a correction. Putting her into a sit so we can close that door. And then now what we can do is we can give her that heel command once again. When we give that heel command, we like to tap on our tone button to again signal the dog to start moving with us. Ripley, heel. So they're giving that heel command, tapping that tone button, and then expecting Ripley to stay within the left side of me here, beside this left leg. She's just a little farther behind me there, so you couldn't see her. And this is where we expect her to be walking. Now, when we're on a walk with her to enforce this position, we do, of course, have the leash on her, but we're really trying not to utilize that leash too much in this process. And so what we want to be able to do here is treat it almost, I tell people to treat it like an electric fence, that left leg. So I'm going to come to a stop here. When I put this left leg out, that like right there where this line is, this right here, that's the electric fence. Anytime Ripley passes that, we apply the e-collar stimulation, pressing and holding it down, and guiding Ripley back behind that left leg, gently using that leash. Pretty quickly, we shouldn't even have to use the leash or the stimulation once the dog clues in, like Ripley has figured out here. And then again, the dog learns to stay behind this area here. Like even right now, Ripley, heel, sit. She should actually be in a sit right there. When we stop, she should sit and wait. But keeping her, again, behind that left leg. If she crosses in front, simply applying that e-collar pressure. We don't really even need to say anything or mark that with a no. The dog generalizes that concept pretty quickly. So giving that heel command again, Ripley, heel. And making our way along here with Ripley. Now, we're just kind of walking down the sidewalk here, making our way around the block. But, you know, usually I encourage the owners to do some of our exercises like moving back and forth. You know, kind of zigzagging left and right and really getting the dog to just pay attention to you. So I'm going to turn into Ripley here, heel. And you should see Ripley yield out of my way just like that. And then what we can also do is turn the opposite direction so I can take a nice turn, heel. And then we expect her to stay right there. Good girl. Beside that left leg. And that's fantastic. That's exactly what we want. Heel. And this just right here, because she was quite a puller previously. Even on a prong collar, this little thing was pulling quite bad. This is going to make a huge difference, right? No more tension on the leash, no more conflict here, no more fighting, and she's following beautifully. We haven't had to use the e-collar for any corrections here, and she's been doing really, really well with this. So this is kind of what our walks are going to look like. Now, if we want to get her out for a potty break or just let her go sniff around, we can come to a stop up by some green space or some grass. This is, of course, our yard here. We're going to come to a stop. Ripley, sit. Getting some eye contact. Ripley, break. And then releasing her with our break cue. So then she's free to go potty. She's free to go sniff around and wander, right? She did just go outside for a potty, so she's probably good in that department. But still just giving her that opportunity to look around, wander, sniff, whatever she wants to do. Break. He's like, well, I don't want to. Good girl. Nice ones. And then once she's done sniffing, once she's done her business or whatever the case is, we can of course just get her back into that command by saying Ripley Heel, tapping on our tone button, and then walking along and bringing her with us. So now she should be back to following us again. She's just right there. And we're on the move again. So this is kind of what our walks are going to look like here. There's no dogs or anything out right now, but we've kind of worked through that with the owner in terms of addressing some of those issues. We're going to make our way back into the house here. Heel. And then once we get into the house here, we can bring her down to her crate and we can go through her a little bit of a feeding process for her there. So once again at the doorway with Ripley, opening the door, stepping in, and then releasing her with my brake command. I don't care if she sits or whatever, I just want her waiting. Brake, releasing her with that brake cue, and then she's free to come on inside here. Heel. And then what we can do is bring her down the stairs. Ripley, sit. Heel. Get her into her crate. Ripley, sit. Ripley, place. Place. We use our place command for that crate. She just needed me to point into there to guide her into that spot. But giving that place command to get her into the crate, we're going to take her slip leash off here, and then we're going to feed her here. So, good work, baby. All right, so we've set our food down here, and then what we want to do here is get some eye contact. Ripley, break. And then releasing her with that brake cue. Good girl. She's not overly food motivated, so she's not exactly the quickest eater, but she will eat that in a moment. Good job, Ripley.